19 students with 5 names. A club's wild drama unfolds. So, I am dealing with a disaster of a roster for an after-school club. I have 19 students, all boys between the ages of 6 and 13, elementary to middle school. There are different 5 first names. I have 7 Liams. 2 are literally named the same first, middle, and last. I have 5 Noahs. 3 have the same middle name. 2 have a last name that starts with the same letter. I have 3 Mateo. 2 have the same last name and no middle name. I have 2 William. And 1 is William Noah, just for shits and giggles. I have 2 Sam. Not Samuel, just Sam. The first day, I sat them all down and tried to figure out what we could call them to prevent chaos. It started descending into chaos. Trying to save the afternoon, I told the boys that we could all have special club names. The boys were all for it, so I used a fantasy name generator and let them all pick mad scientist names. They were thrilled. One of the Mateos, especially because he gets called Big Mateo, and he's sensitive about being overweight. Except for one of the Liam's moms. Of course, one of the Liams who has the same first, middle, and last name is livid. She called the principal and wants his name to remain the same, and me to call all the boys by their actual names. Like, I don't even see how it's possible. Of the 5 names I have to work with, 19 kids, none except William, really lend themselves to nicknames, and with so many repeats in last initials, it'd be a jigsaw puzzle. Admins are with me on this because the boys are all from different grades. It really hasn't been an issue overall. But the one parent is trying to start a war over me, whitewashing her kid's name. Liam is white. I let her know that since the other boys were happy with their mad scientist names, he could be Dr. Liam. She wants me to scratch all the names, or she's going to get the district involved. Other parents don't give a shit because it's after-school care. I'm not a full-time teacher, so I don't even know what the heck to do. Update 1. Buckle up, Buttercup, because this is one wild ride. It's Sunday, and I'm posting because I needed a minute to breathe. Tuesday went well. Used Dr. Liam. Contacted the district, who was like, "You're an after-school contractor. Leave us the fuck alone." Mom still being an ass, so I invited her to the club. I have 2 parent volunteers. Wednesday? She came, sat in back, and scowled the entire fucking time. A couple of the younger boys were very nutty. I sat them in a corner on the beanbags, gave them a snack, and told them to take a minute. Turns out they were exhausted and both fell asleep. A couple older boys had some interpersonal issues to work out, and they were off to another corner. One boy called his mom and begged me to let him study. Fine, whatever. Room has 4 corners. Class proceeds with about 11 students actually participating. Eventually, the boys who were dealing with whatever rejoin us, as well as the boy studying. At this point, immediately after class, she pulled poor Dr. Liam, and 3 other of my students deregistered. This should have been a sign of things to come. Thursday, I come in and get called into the office. There's a lawyer, the mom, and then someone I didn't recognize. They are from Child Protection, Kraken Mom's friends, apparently. I'm not going to pretend I'm colorblind, or somehow magically immune to noticing race. My kids are mostly white or white Hispanics with 2 Asians. Evil Mom starts making accusations that I'm name-calling the kids. She didn't approve of Professor Calamity or Dr. Demon, and that I forced all the children of color out while I only let the white kids participate. She has photos to prove it. My sleepy boys were 1 Asian, 1 black Hispanic. Warring boys were 1 dark black Hispanic, 1 tan Hispanic. Study stressed boy was Asian. The rest of the boys are white passing Hispanic, white or white passing mixed. Her Liam was very subdued. I honestly hadn't realized the way this occurred. It did look bad from the photos, but in the end, all but the 2 sleepyheads joined in again. The volunteer moms in the group had checked with home, and both parents had said to let the boys sleep. WTF am I supposed to do? Nobody in the room except Kraken Mom was really amused. She thought she had us over a barrel. Wasted the entire fucking after-school time to hash it out. I'm shaking and ready to quit on the spot. Principal smooths it out. Lawyer assures we have nothing to worry about. Child Protection was pretty annoyed because Kraken seemed to make them think she was exposing some kind of crazy situation. Friday. I go in to find a reporter and a camera. I let them know that they had better not publish any footage because Kraken didn't have permission to take the footage. I got the principal involved, who called the lawyer, and again we wasted most of the time sorting this out. However, Because Kraken posted on all the town boards on Neighborhood and Facebook, and whatever fucking else she could find, things ended up working out and biting her in the ass. 3 parents pulled their boys on Wednesday because they aligned with Kraken. On Friday afternoon, after I get in, I discover I have 5 girl besties from grade 4 who want to come. And since the cap is 20, I'm really happy to have them. It's not the best balance, but 1/4 is closer to my normal 1/3. As of Saturday night, I have 2 new volunteers for class, and a business, owned by the dad of the Asian studying boy, is going to buy us 2 extra robots, so the kids can be in teams of 3, 5 rather than 5, 7, and one mom has donated 3 of her old iPads for the kids to program on. Many people in the community are polarized. Fortunately, it's mostly in my direction. My head is still spinning, and I don't think I could think up any more drama than has occurred. I'm looking forward to Monday, with the new kids and a fresh slate. Update 2. Yes, you can teach robotics to young kids. The robot is available on Amazon. We get it through a volume discount. The iPads were old minis, worth around $100 each. They were not new. They were not pros. No, you can't have one FFS. I am an independent contractor. The district union couldn't give a fuck about me and won't let me join. However, I do have an on-call lawyer as a small business. No, the girls didn't have the same names. I can talk about this legally. So fuck off with the violation of FERPA shit. Also, the below story is more than public knowledge, or at least Kraken's version. Current class. I currently have 18 students, 13 boys, 5 girls. There are 10 names, which is much better, but they are all mad scientists to me sleepyheads. One boy decided to drop after talking with his mom. He just isn't ready to stay late. She's a Saichum, and she wanted him to have opportunities. The Hispanic boys, one dropped. There's some really terrible tension in the school around the different countries they are from, and the school is dealing with that. It's a very involved and nuanced situation. The Asian dad continues to be such a huge asset. He really wants his kid to succeed. We talked about ways that he can allow his son to be a kid and still be ready for the world. We also talked about how it was fine if he used his ethnic birth name rather than his white name. I also call the father, and his mother, who I deal with less, by his ethnic birth name. He brought in a bunch of appetizers, both Americanized and culturally accurate, and the entire class really enjoyed them. He's turned into a sort of superhero to the class, and whether by accident or by design, his is now the favorite spot in town, because the kids love the dude. His English isn't great, but he's trying to learn, and I just adore him. And the Dr. Liam update. Last week, after not seeing him for a month or so, Liam tears into my classroom, full speed, when regular class is out but before I begin. Kraken was speaking to his teacher, and he told Kraken he needed to get something from his locker across school. Sobbing, he comes to me. Please, please give my dad his money back. I want to see him. If you make her happy, I can see him. I'm actual mad scientist name I gave him. Remember me? Yes. I kinda WTF'd and then got the whole story. This transpired last month. Remember, I don't have access to students or records, contractor, and none of the kids are in his homeroom, so I don't hear the scuttlebutt. Dr. Liam's dad was pretty pissed about her crusade and bashing of the club, social media shit, which is why his business donated. He was trying to apologize without words. Since she does the books, she caught it. Some of you mentioned she's the head of the church. Opposite, she's queen bee at the gym, nutrition, and a rabid atheist. Dr. Liam's dad decided that he'd bring Dr. Liam to church because he wanted his kid to learn how to be kind and moral. So Kraken told Dr. Liam after he went to church, she'd take him out for ice cream. She took him several hours and a state over to her mom's house. He hadn't been home or gotten to talk to anyone he knew basically since my last post. Since they are married, Dr. Liam's dad couldn't do shit except a wellness check. I have my own kids. I cannot imagine not having seen them since my last post. Fuck Kraken. Fast forward to last week, Dr. Liam was back to get his stuff from school. I called 911 after learning this, not wishing to release a crying kid back to Kraken, saying I feared for his safety. Because I really did, since I knew she didn't like me. Also, I worried about my other students who were entering in the classroom. So I let the volunteers know, pull in a teacher who is in a nearby classroom to watch mine, and book it with Dr. Liam to the principal's office. We got the principal all set. He called Dr. Liam's dad in a very malicious compliance. Since Dr. Liam's mom withdrew him, and thus was no longer a valid emergency contact, he called Dr. Liam's dad. The secretary said that she wished she could pack around. She's at least 80 years old, so it was very cute. Okay, maybe not to some, but I knew that old lady would defend Liam, and I couldn't love her more. I swear they have the entire police force show up, plus some fire trucks. They get all the bust kids off. They basically go into a full lockdown. I'm not sure what the principal said, but apparently Kraken had something to a couple of Liam's teachers upset that they told the secretary before I even arrived. Kraken did evade arrest, but Dr. Liam's was escorted to his dad, who was just sobbing, happy to see his kid. His lawyer showed up, and it seems like it's going to be bad news for Kraken. TRO, Temporary Restraining Order, was granted for the school, Dr. Liam, his father, and paternal grandparents. Dr. Liam left with his dad. Dr. Liam's dad asked me to take Liam back into class. He hasn't done anything for over a month, not even homeschool. It's going to be tough to do anything. I haven't decided yet because the students in class after 6 weeks are in a tremendously different place. The kid needs to heal. I did tell him that I'd give him access to my pandemic video version of the course and see what I could do about sourcing a robot for him and joining back in when ready. I have a coupon at one of those things remembered sort of deals, and I'm thinking of getting Dr. Liam's mad scientist name on a notebook to give to him, since apparently that's his nickname he referred to himself as when his mom kidnapped him.